Welcome everyone. Okay, we're just getting organized. Oh my goodness me, welcome. And if you could all do me a big favor, and that is to actually mute yourselves because I can't do it from my mobile phone. And let's just hit the record button. And that's recording. Fantastic. So yeah, if you don't mind muting yourself, because I'm still in Egypt. It's about 11 o'clock. And in Queensland time, Australia, it's at 6 a.m. And so I welcome every single one of you here. I'm going to tell you some good news. Or just like, how many of you love good news? If you do like good news, because I can't quite see on my screen with the phone, if you can just put an emoji of a thumbs up or a little something emoji thing, that would be amazing on your laptop, computer, whatever it is. Thank you so much. I love giving news too. And have you ever noticed when you've got good news, it's like there's something that changes in your body. There's something that happens. And when you share good news, other people want to connect with you as well. Well, that's the flavor for tonight. Tonight for me, it's tonight because it's 11 o'clock at night. And that's the theme for tonight. Tonight is all about good news gets great results. So broadcast it. That's it. What's the good news? Well, everything's good news at the moment, but the good news is when you've got great news, broadcast it. Now, some of you have done my Millennium Calendar course where I talk about celebrate. You must book your celebration as soon as you do your goals. Celebrate always. It's so important. And yet we forget to share the good news. And in the 3D paradigm, what happens is we are taught, if you watch the news, which I don't watch the news, or once you have your algorithms onto any of the social media to watch bad stuff, the algorithms show you more bad stuff. And it's like bad news seems to spread as well. Not if there was the Gene Sheehan television. It would be the great news. So good news gets great results. And when you share the good news about yourself, like if you guys message me and say, hey, Jean, I lost weight, or I got a client, or I left my job because it wasn't part of me, or I got a new dog, or something like that. It's like great news. I want you to broadcast it. But sometimes we have a disease called tall poppy syndrome, especially in Australia, that when you broadcast good news, like someone wants to get you and drag you down. Well, again, not on the Gene Sheehan television. It's going to be great news, really great news, because when there's great news, it gets great results. That's the only thing. Good news gets great results. Now, some of you are doing a happy money with me, and you've learned that complaining actually dumbs you down. They have done scientific proof at Harvard University that when you complain, you actually dumb yourself down. Now, I know I've been guilty of complaining. So now I choose not to complain because I don't want to be dumb as such. And I'm talking a chemical thing that happens in your body. And so can you imagine just sharing good news after good news with people? Sometimes people don't know how to deal with it. Sometimes it throws them off, which I love doing. And what I love to do is when people are broadcasting bad news, I'll throw a wobbly in and say, well, for those in Queensland, how about them Broncos? For those that are in Egypt with me, how about those sphinxes? How are they? How do they go on those pyramids and sphinxes? Because when we suddenly go to the good news, it throws people off into the new paradigm. When we share the great results and broadcast it, you are then the example of what's possible. That's number one. You're changing the energy in your body, which is then changing the healing, and you're giving somebody else an opportunity to actually join you in that energy. There's a lot of sidekick benefits from good news gets great results. So broadcast it. So, you know what I'm going to get you to do right now? In the chat, I want you to tell me great news between last week and this week. What have you had? And if you put it in the chat, put a Y next to it, which means I'm allowed to share it. It means Y for yes. And then I can read it out. And I'm just doing it that way because I'm not on my PC at the moment and using the phone. The screen's really little and I can't see you all. So while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you good news and how it's great results. I literally just walked in the door 1 minute before doing this masterclass. I turned on the air conditioner and the lights, and I've got the phone on a big cardboard box. Good news gets great results. So broadcasting, I want to broadcast. I was determined to be here, even though I'm telling my team, we're got Egyptian time. It's time to go. It's time to go. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's time to go. So good news, I was here. So what news have you got in the chat for me so that I can share that and broadcast it? So Lou's got, I just finished 28 days of gratitude today. Amazing. So good news. She's claiming that she did something 28 days and it's going to get great results for her because she did her journaling of gratitude. But when she broadcasts it like that, she's giving us, Lulu is giving us the opportunity to celebrate with her. So come on, I want everybody to share in the chat with me. I know I'm making you work at 6 o'clock in the morning, but it's 11 o'clock at night here. So I'm full of beans. We've got Pauline, an influx of different riches and celebrations, completing tasks, consistently releasing and receiving. See, good news, great results, broadcast it. By Pauline telling us exactly that, you are then, like me, all inspired to, what tasks do I need to complete? What do I need to release and what do I need to receive? Again, what happens is when we spread the good news, which is the new paradigm, it is infectious, like hugely infectious, so that everybody gets immunized with it. And when Pauline and Lou share that thing, they've just injected us, and I'm using medical terms on purpose, injected us with this like boost of, oh, yeah. And then when we're boosted, then we want to spread that beautiful joy with everybody else as well as celebrate them. I'm just going to go to the next one. And we've got Steve, thank you so much. My daughter has picked the venue she loves for her wedding. Oh my gosh, there we go. Look, good news. Daughter, having a wedding, and she's picked the venue. Great news, broadcast it. So congratulations, Steve, and to your daughter. And then we've got Andrew. We've got good news for, whoops, it just jumped. Good news for the last week. I have recovered from an illness. Yes. And feel rejuvenated with a deep sleep last night. Yes. Now, see, that's great news. It can be the little things like I've recovered from whatever was happening in my body, broadcast it, because maybe one of you needs to have a good deep sleep. So thank you, Andrew. Kim's got, I went away for a break at our piece of paradise, awesome, where I continued to journal, which I have been doing for a month and a half. Amazing, 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 amazing. Now, why do we broadcast it? Here's a broadcast. We're broadcasting right now. I'm broadcasting from Egypt to you guys, wherever you are. It will then be broadcast on my YouTube channel and into the Facebook group. It'll be broadcast into Facebook. By broadcasting, what we're doing is we're saying, hello, hello, hello. We want to spread the word. What word do we want to spread? We want to spread that infectious, beautiful energy that's uplifting, connecting, loving, supporting. Joy's got, I finally released rejection and abandonment, beautiful, from my bodies today. An amazing miracle. Well done, Joy. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And thank you so much. Now, see, already we've had some of you broadcast the good news and get great from the great results, and it makes all of us feel great. Let's go back to the Gene Sheen news. Let's try it out. Well, welcome everybody to the Gene Sheen news of Egypt. Yes, I'm at the Sphinx. And today we have had amazing people get over illness, let go of rejection, find a venue for their wedding. Can you imagine? Can you imagine conversations? Imagine the conversation, say, because we've got some school teachers here. Thank you so much for all the school teachers that do their magic amongst the children. Imagine the school teachers sending all that vibration as they do. And then the kids learn that vibration too, and they grow up spreading that vibration. Or those that have been in the medical field or in the medical field like I was as a nurse, imagine the hospitals spreading the good news. Imagine the patients, instead of feeling doom and gloom, getting good news. For me, the one thing I used to do of good news gets great results. When patients were really frightened of going to the theatre because they thought they were going to die, good news gets great results. So broadcast it. So I would say to them, why don't you picture the surgeon in a great mood and all the theatre staff in a great mood? And why don't you picture yourself coming safely back to the ward? Well, you know what would happen? As I did that, there was no post-op complications. The surgery went really well. And quite often, the biopsies were benign. Good news gets great results, so broadcast it. This is ancient wisdom from Mr. Schools. It is nothing new. And when we would sit in our group together, we would share the great news. Why? Because that was the whole idea of uplifting, connecting, supporting. Remember I said they've done studies at Harvard when we complain, it actually dumbs our hypothalamus down and a hippocampus. Well, let's not complain. Let's not share the bad news. Let's not, if you're going to gossip, why not gossip the good stuff? Hey, did you hear the great stuff? Did you hear about the good? And if you notice, most of the posts I do on social media, good stuff. Let's do the good stuff. So good news. What if this week you were to practice sharing your good news? Teach others how to be in that high frequency. Teach others how to stand tall, shine brightly. Why? You are the example of what's possible. When you share your good news and that you've got great results from that good news, you give them permission to shine as well. And by broadcasting it, it allows people to go, oh, I can actually do the same. And sure, there's the disease of tall poppy syndrome. But the more you do this, the more that you're immune to the tall poppy syndrome. And those that do tall poppy syndrome, they just don't know how to spread the good news. That's where you guys come in. Teach them, show them, be the example of what's possible. Try it out in the supermarket. Try it out when you go pay your petrol. Try it out when you go buy your coffee. Definitely do it in front of children. Do it with animals. Good news gets great results, so broadcast it. While I'm here in Egypt, all the dogs, the stray dogs that are around, my intention is that I'm going to give them medical intuitive healing. And so good news gets great results. I broadcast it. I broadcast it in my energy of dog, if you're going to come up next to me, I'm going to do healing. And it's like one tells the other one, it's like a barking chain. And next thing, another dog comes up for healing and heart cuddles. Another dog comes up. What are you going to do it? Good news gets great results. So broadcast it. It is not up yourself to broadcast it. It is not ego to broadcast it. It is being the example of what's possible. And if you look at children, they will naturally do this until they're taught by us grumpy adults saying don't. So imagine being the example of what's possible right now. And I want you to think about what good news could you share with someone today and the practice of this week, because you guys are in Monday, it's still Sunday for me. what good news could you share? What could you broadcast that will actually uplift somebody, maybe a stranger, maybe somebody that you know, maybe family, children, or animals? Be the example of what's possible. This is a dynamic paradigm shift. And as we come into the Lionsgate 888, which started a couple of days ago, this is new beginnings. And for those that have done the Millennium Calendar, Secret Coast to Success, it's July, new beginnings. And if you're watching this recording back any other time of the year, it doesn't matter. It's still new beginnings. Good news gets great results. And when you share good news, it's a frequency. So if I share the good and I communicate and I ooze it out of my body, then I attract to me great results. And then the broadcasting sometimes isn't even me. It might be other people that broadcast it. The knock-on effect and sacred geometry of this is massive. I'm just giving you 20 minutes worth. But when you practice this week, with all the other things you've been practicing, watch what happens, because it is extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. So on that note, I'm going to go through our Zoom room, our Zoom group, and I'm going to get you to unmute yourself and give us a golden heart, just a few seconds. What was your golden heart of what you got today? Because remember, it's not me teaching, it's all of us teaching together so that we can all learn. And if you don't want to unmute yourself and speak, that's okay. Pop it in the chat with a Y, and then I can read it and share. So we'll go Joy, Lou, Leona, and then Andrew. If you guys would love to share, that'd be amazing. Oh, Joy, you just have to unmute yourself, darling. And guys, I can't unmute you because I can't do it from the phone. So if you can't unmute, just pop it in the chat and I can read it out. Joy, type it, my darling. Lou, do you want to do yours, sweetie?
Jean, just my golden nugget today is you saying that complaining dulls down your brain. And yeah, I get frustrated when people continue to complain. Yes, I do complain. And when I catch myself, but now knowing that, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure. Leona.
Morning. My golden heart was to actually notice the good news and then step up to share.
That's beautiful. Andrew.
I really liked the fact that complaining dumbs you down, but as well as just reminding me I have got things to share, and yes, I need to share it. Thank you. For good news.
Pleasure. Good news. Joy, are you unmuted, darling? Oh, I still can't hear you, Joy. Oh, my darling. While we'll work it out, we'll go Carolyn, Cherie. I can't read it. It says iPhone 2, but I can't read who it is.
Hi, Jean. I woke up this morning with rise up, time to bring balance to everything. That was my golden nugget for this morning.
Beautiful, beautiful. And welcome, my darling. Welcome. Let's go, Cherie.
Oh, good morning, Jean. Nice to see you well. Complaining definitely drags you down, and listening just makes it worse. And saying thank you and really, really mean it and be excited. And I think that I do that, but I'm going to do it even better.
Beautiful. And Cherie, arigato. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not sure who's on iPhone 2. I can't quite see the name. Do you want to share, darling? You don't have to. You can pop it in the chat if you want to. while we're waiting, we'll go to Kim, Orleen, and Dee.
Good evening, everyone. And good evening, Jean.
Thank you.
Booking celebrations. Just remember to book celebrations.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Definitely,
everything that
definitely.
everybody else has said, but just, yeah, for me, it was that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, darling. Pauline.
Morena, mine was gossip the good stuff. And because there's always gossip around. And like if you can gossip the good stuff, then that's just going to raise your vibration and then it'll raise theirs as well. So thanks, Jean.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Now, just on that note, your cells are always gossiping. Everyone, mine, yours, everyone's cells are always gossiping. So the stomach cell, the cells don't know what they are. And the cell blobs along and connects with the stomach cell. And the stomach cell says, hey, dude, do you want to be a stomach cell? Yeah, sure. What's it like? Oh, it's totally rad, dude. Like, come along. Or a cancer cell says to a cell, hey, you want to be a cancer cell? Sure. What's it like? Oh, it's totally rad, dude. So your cells are totally gossiping all the time. They don't actually know what's good or bad. The cells don't even know that cancer cells are bad. It's just us humans that think that. And your cells, on every level, your DNA, good news gets great results. So broadcast it. You're broadcasting to your cells all the time. And you're doing it right here in the thymus gland where my segment pendant is. You're doing it all the time. In this thymus gland, those have done medical intuition, module 1, you've got achenic cells, which are Lemurian cells that never die. And they're always going, hey, what? Listening. I'm listening. So we've always got gossip happening, always, always. I'm just going to go to the messages. We've got Dee, thank you, my darling. Thank you, Jean. My golden nugget is to remind myself that good news is here to be shared. Absolutely, Dee. And Joy, that's all right, my darling. I couldn't verbalize. That's okay. My golden heart is to be conscious of keeping my heart open to everything around me. Beautiful. And I find too, oh, it's Linda. Thank you so much, Linda. On my phone, everyone's about this big, so I can't see everyone. Thank you, Linda. Linda, my golden nugget is my dog who has been very sick is getting much better. Yes, 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 yes. Let's just go through, and then let's go to Steve. What's your golden heart, darling?
Morning, everyone. My golden heart is that my wife is now, after a serious illness, back to work for a few hours today. So that's really good news. I'd like to share. So yeah. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And please say hi to her from me, my darling, please.
Will do.
So, you know, when everyone shares, like just then when Steve shared that, the energy of saying the good news of Steve's wife has been unwell and returning to work is like good news. And we want to broadcast it. We want to say, hey, this is what I know to be true. This is uplifting me. Will it uplift you as well? That's why I've said all of you, single one of you, are the example of what's possible. Because people have forgotten and gone into the 3D paradigm of complaining. And that is the acceptable thing. So I'm going to give you an example. When my mother-in-law was alive, and this is not putting her down, I'd walk into the house, and before I put my handbag down, and I'd say, oh, hi, how are you? Before I'd even finished, she went into complain, and she would tell me the bad news. You do know that there's a bad axeman walking around a school near your sons. He could kill your children. But she would always tell me the bad news. But that was because that's what she learnt. And I'd always like go, shut down with my ears and shut down with my ear chakra, because I went, I just don't want to hear. In fact, that's what I did in 2020 when all the blah, blah was being talked about as well. I don't want to hear it, shut down. Good news gets great results, so broadcast it. So our paradigm is broadcasting the bad, the news, bad. Let's make the Jean Sheehan TV channel, or make your own TV channel. And good news gets great results, so broadcast it. It uplifts. When all of you have shared everything that you've shared, which I really, really am grateful for, and thank you. It's like, yes, 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 yes. It uplifts, it gives hope, it gives a new shift, a new paradigm, and it feels good. It feels good when we share as well. So I thank you so, so much, Super Soul, especially. Next week, I will be back in Australia doing the masterclass. I thank every one of you for joining in whilst I've been in Egypt and keeping the masterclasses up. I really, really, really big time appreciate it, because in the Southern Hemisphere, it's freezing cold. It's 6 a.m. So thank you very, very much. For me, that's further up north, and so is Joy. It's a little bit warmer. In fact, it's really hot here. It's like temperatures of 49 degrees. I'm loving it. So thank you. Lots and lots of love, and spread the good news. Be the example of what's possible. And I'll see you next week, and I'll be back in Australia. I'm here at the Sphinx. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, Jean. Thank you.